Welcome back to The Blend. Summer is long gone, and while many of us are looking forward to these cooler temperatures, for those of you experiencing joint pain or injuries, the winter months can actually be quite difficult. Here to help us keep our joints and spines in tip-top shape this winter, Eric Kubiak from University Orthopedics and Spine. Welcome, Dr. Kubiak.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
Good, we're doing good.
Do you notice when I said spinal injuries, I immediately sat up straight?
Yeah, everybody's like,
it's always a reminder.
Get their posture right with the spine. Yeah.
Is that what patients do when they come in to see you? They probably try to give their best.
Probably give their best, yeah, a little bit. It's either best or particularly this time of year, I think we get a lot of, for a long time, I think of a history of orthopedics, people who have implants, plates, nails, screws, total joints, will come and say, I can sense the weather change. I can feel it's more painful this time of year. And the reality is we don't know why, but it's real. That when the weather changes and it gets colder, people have more sense of their implants, more sense of their injuries. Arthritis particularly more nagging and irritating at this time of year.
That's right, because a lot of people with those implants say, you know, I often hear people say, you know, I have a implant in my disc there, they lose mobility.
Yeah,
so they're experiencing arthritis, they're experiencing a loss of mobility, and it's very uncomfortable.
Right. And so one of the things we think that potentially in the colder months, your immune system is maybe a little more active. Like we got a head cold right now. Oftentimes this is the time of year when our immune systems are a little more challenged. That may be part of what happens with implants, is that there's always probably some low-level inflammatory response around that thing that's not us, that's in our body. And maybe at this time of year when your immune system is a little more active, those things are more active.
Very interesting. Yeah, so it's a little bit unclear on what causes it, but it's a reality.
It's real.
Speaking of that pain, for people who are experiencing joint pain, whether it be in their hips, their back, or maybe they are, you know, nursing an old injury, you had some tips for alleviating pain.
Yeah, I think it's really, I think it becomes a challenging time of year to stay active. It's funny coming from Alaska and being like, it's 60 degrees, it's not that cold. But when you've lived here for a while, 60 degrees feels really cold. It's like this morning, I want a jacket on this morning because it feels
all relative.
Really cold. I think that we all become probably a little less active in the winter. And particularly for joint replacements or for arthritis, being less active, it's always worse when you get going. Like we all sort of become old engine. And when it's going, it's fine, but that startup is a little bit harder. So I think one of the critical things this time of year is to stay more active.
Right.
The stretching. Stretching is something that we can get into a debate about stretching. Stretching is probably best.
Do you want to get into a debate about stretching?
It's probably best post-activity, particularly if you're going to do some kind of strength or weight training. It's probably better post than it is pre.
Well, now listen. That's the newer way of thinking about it, though, isn't it? Because I know in my youth, it was always, I mean, even before cross-country or track practice, you stretch first.
Right.
So it's kind of like having your salad after your meal. Now the thinking is that stretching is better after. How about before and after? I mean, are you a big
It's probably some kind of graded warm-up beforehand, but probably more active, just to get your body warm. And then the stretching is really post.
Interesting.
And the rollers and all the stuff we sort of do now is really post. For people with arthritis.
Once you're warm.
Once you're warm. For people with arthritis, the recommendation would be, or people with implants, would be some kind of warm-up, some kind of moving warm-up, not so much a stretching warm-up. And then our recommendation has been an anti-inflammatory before. As long as you don't have GI problems, as long as you don't have problems with anti-inflammatories. A low dose of anti-inflammatory before a big hike or before activity.
You know, I know a lot of people who do that.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Okay.
It just sort of settles down your immune system before you get going.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are running out of time, but I wanted to ask you real quick. You wanted to touch on, there are a lot of people who come to you with a particular issue here in Vegas that didn't used to happen at your other practice. What is a very Vegas issue?
Very Vegas issue right now has been, we get a different kind of injury pattern this time of year. So up to the north, we start to see skiers this time of year. Vegas has been, we see more pedestrians struck this time of year. I think it's a little bit darker at night and a little darker in the evening, and we see more people clipped by cars. And so the thing that we would encourage this time of year, particularly because this has been a terrible year for people hit by vehicles, has been bright clothing. And think about that it's dark and people don't see as well in the morning and they don't see as well in the afternoon. And we were just talking about exercising.
Yes.
So I know it's not cool maybe to wear bright clothes when you exercise, but wear something bright. Yeah.
Doctor, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And thanks for your heads up. You heard him, folks. Wear bright clothes. Maybe carry a flashlight. My goodness. Visit University Orthopedics and Spine. They are located on Oakey and Decatur. You can call them. Their number's right there on your screen. You can also visit their website, uoslv.com. University Orthopedics and Spine is a proud sponsor of the Morning Blend.